everybody, and welcome to Weight Loss Wednesday. I'm Chef AJ, the creator of the Ultimate Weight Loss Program, and this is where I answer your questions about healthy, permanent, and sustainable weight loss. I'm the author of The Secrets to Ultimate Weight Loss, and each week I also try to show you some recipes from the book that will help make your weight loss journey easy and delicious. So today I'm answering a couple of questions, and one of them is from Marie, and she wanted to know what that extraordinarily delicious salad was that they served at the live Ultimate Weight Loss Conference that we have every year at the Tuscany in Las Vegas. And Marie, the answer is Bodacious Beet Salad, which you can find on page 206 of my book. They actually used the barefoot dressing, but I'm going to show you an even easier dressing you can make. It'll be almost as delicious. I call it House Dressing 2.0, which you can find on page 221. So I'm going to start with the dressing. Before I invented or created, if you will, barefoot dressing, which is called barefoot dressing because it knocks your socks off. It's really, I'm not bragging, but people have told me it's one of the best balsamic-based dressings they ever tasted. I had another dressing that was my staple, and I called it House Dressing 2.0 because house dressing was already taken by another recipe that I had created. And it's really easy because it's ingredients that I always have on hand that are easy to find anywhere, such as lime juice, and I'm using organic, and so I don't have a problem using bottled, but use fresh as you can. I find that limes are very selfish, and you'll get a lime and it could cost 50 cents, and even if you microwave it, which they tell you to do to get the juice, you get like a half a tablespoon of juice. So I get really frustrated with limes unless I need the zest for something. So I've got lime juice. You could use lemon. I find lime juice is tastier, sweeter. I seem to like it better unless we're talking Meyer lemons. We're using my favorite mustard, which is the Westbury Stone Ground Salt-Free Mustard. You can find it at stores like Sprouts, on Amazon, at Thrive, those kind of places. It's very good. It's what they use at True North. And your favorite balsamic vinegar. I'm using Napa Valley Naturals because most people can find it. There's a discount code in my book if you want to buy this, or any balsamic vinegar. I recommend a good quality one that you like. I like the reduced ones. They're thicker, they're richer, they're sweeter, not from sugar, just from grapes. So that's really it for the three ingredients. And the ratio can really be up to you, but I like less mustard than the other items. So I'm going to use 1 tablespoon mustard, to 2 tablespoons of this nice, look how thick and delicious. This could just be your salad dressing, by the way, just the balsamic vinegar, and I often do that. And then 2 tablespoons of lime juice. So it's 2 to 1. And I have this little tool. I think I got it from Pampered Chef. It's always either Pampered Chef or Tupperware. And that's my dressing. Now, when I make a big batch of this, I use the blender. It's just easier, and then I'm pretty sure the mustard gets fully incorporated. But for such a small amount, I use this clever little tool. And especially if I'm going out somewhere where I need to sneak in my own dressing, because it's very hard to get a compliant, oil-free, sugar-free, salt-free dressing in a restaurant. I have this little thing you can get online or Bed Bath & Beyond called Dressings to Go, which conveniently fits this, and this is plenty for a delicious salad. So this is really cool. You can discreetly put this in your purse or pocket and then have a compliant dressing, or put any dressing that you want in there. So now I always store my mustard upside down because sometimes it's hard to get out. Oops, there we go. Can't have an episode of Weight Loss Wednesday when Eden's here without dropping something on the floor. It's just the way I roll. So I'll move these aside now, and I'll show you how to make the salad. Alrighty. I'm trying to keep a clean space. So, Bodacious Beet Salad is beets. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my beets. It's an equal amount of beets and mango, actually. And I'm just using this box of steamed beets for Trader Joe's. It's 8 ounces. You can get larger boxes of steamed beets at places like Costco. You can also roast your own beets or cook them in the Instant Pot, but I'm lazy, and so I'm getting this much. And so I'm going to use 8 ounces of the beets, and I'm going to use an equal amount of mango. Now this is frozen mango from Costco. It's organic, but if you can use fresh, I like the fresh a little better because it's a little firmer and more toothsome, but the frozen is fine. I defrosted it. So You can cut the beets and the mango in any shape you want, but I like to just have them the same size. So I could cut them to the size of this mango, but I really like kind of cutting them small. So I'm using this really clever tool called the Bodacious Chop Wizard, and look at how cool it just makes it. It's so easy, guys. This is $20, and when you use your 20% coupon, it's like $16, and it comes with 2 different size grates. I've used it, if you've watched me on some of the other episodes, it's so easy for things like onions. Look at how easy, and it cuts them in just a perfect little cubes. I love it. Now I soak these beets. The reason is because if I don't, it gets the salad really kind of pink, which is fine if you don't have time. And you know what? I'm going to do the same thing with the organic mango. And I'm going to cut it into the same shape. And that's really mushy. That's why I like using fresh, even if I buy it already cut, because it's just a little bit firmer, but it's still going to taste really, really delicious. So don't you worry about that. They love this in Vegas. Even people that didn't eat vegan or healthy or SOS free. The hotel, Chef Lonnie and Chef Martinez did an amazing job on this recipe. We hope you'll join us next year on Labor Day, because it really is an outstanding conference, wouldn't you say, Eden? Mm-hmm. And you know what? There's a little bit of this mango juice left, which I may or may not use. It just depends. So now I've got my mango and my beets all chopped up. I'm going to put it in a bowl, equal amounts. And again, cut it bigger if you like. And so now I'm going to add my onion. And I could use that same thing to do the onion, but I just need a little bit. So I'm going to make sure that I always am safe and use my mandolin glove. I love this tool because I'm only using a little bit, and I already have the onion already peeled. It's in my fridge because I always grate some fresh onion on my daily salads. Charles doesn't like onion on his, so I don't put it in the big bowl. So I'm going to just grate as much or as little as you want. You can follow the recipe on page 206 if you want exact measurements. That's enough, I think. And then the mint. Can never have too much mint. This is a variation of a recipe that Shada, who lost 120 pounds on the Ultimate Weight Loss Program and does some videos for me. This is a variation of a salad she gave me. And hers used cilantro, which is fine. I just find that when I'm cooking for other people, there's too many people that have, I guess, a gene that for them cilantro tastes like soap. Yeah. So I don't use it. But plus, I just am such a fan of mint. It's so refreshing. And if you can't find mango or don't like it, there is absolutely no reason you couldn't use pineapple or even papaya in this salad. And I'm going to tell you, please give it a chance, because I have found that even people that, quote, hate beets have liked this salad, because that certainly is what happened at the conference, because they didn't know it was beets. So these are herb scissors, by the way. I've got that little condition called trigger thumb, and knife is very hard for me to use, so this works great. And plus you get everything the same size, which is kind of fun, I think, if you're cooking especially for other people. So we just do that, and then we're going to add our dressing. And again, if you have barefoot on hand, which I always do, I like to kind of dress it a little bit light, because you can always add, but you can't take away. And you know, it's just a really beautiful salad, especially if you soak the beet. And again, if you want more mango than beet or more beet than mango, it's up to you. But it really is a pretty salad. It's a tasty salad. Let me put a little bit in the dish and show you how pretty it is. Oh, now one of the things I recommend is eat it with a lot of greens. So I love to serve this over a bed of arugula, and it's just a fabulous, fabulous salad. So that's what it looks like, but make sure you eat it over some greens. And coincidentally, I have a question about beets today from Barbara Ann. She wrote in and she said that she feels she's a sugar addict, food addict, sugar addict, kind of the same thing, opposite sides maybe of the same coin. And she said, is it okay to eat things like beets? Is it okay to eat things like fruit? Well, it depends. Now, this salad has both beet and fruits in it, but here's the thing. I recommend to you, Barbara Ann, and everyone, to take the quiz in my book, The Secrets to Ultimate Weight Loss, in the introduction, to see how severe of a food addict you are, where you fall on the continuum, because it's not a static thing. Food addiction is fluid. There are times that it's really hard for us to control, and there's times if we're at a meditation retreat and Joshua Tree for 2 weeks, it's a lot easier to control. So it's not just like diabetes where either you are or you're not. It's fluid. And so the thing is my philosophy is, when in doubt, leave it out. what may be a perfectly suitable food for one person, some people might even be able to eat a slice of salt-free Ezekiel bread, could be the downfall for another. So if you feel a food is triggering to you, that's going to cause you to exponentially overeat or have cravings, leave it out, even if it's a healthy, whole natural food like mango or beets or even nuts or even things like tahini or avocado, which could be harmless to some. But think about it, beets are a whole natural food. They're 195 calories per pound. They contain water, fiber, which together make bulk, which creates satiety. They contain vitamins, minerals, phytochemicals, antioxidants, and micronutrients. You process them into beet sugar, and now you go from 195 calories per pound to 1,800, more than 9 times as calorically dense. You take out all the beneficial compounds I just listed, all the water, all the fiber. So I don't see a lot of people overweight, obese, or struggling with disease because they ate too many beets. It's because they ate the refined version of the beets, the sugar or the flours or the oil or maybe too much high-fat plant food. So again, you are going to have to test it on you, but I always recommend that you eat food in conjunction with food. So for example, if I'm eating this, I'm going to have this on a huge bed of raw arugula. I'm going to have a starch with it that's going to mitigate the effect of some of the sugars that occur naturally in the vegetables. Now, fruit, on the other hand, is interesting. Some of the food addiction experts I've interviewed, like Dr. Vera Tarman, they either limit fruit or they tell people for a certain time don't have it. I know that in his wonderful book, The McDougall Program for Maximum Weight Loss, Dr. John McDougall says if you're wanting to experience weight loss, you want to limit it to 2 fruits a day at the most because it can raise your triglycerides. But I find with the people I've worked with, is when they finally get rid of the sugar, what do they gravitate to? The fruit. Very often it's the dried fruit, like dried apples and apricots or mango or raisins or dates, which are 1,300 calories a pound and very low in water, if any, and more than 6 times as calorically dense as fresh fruits. So my philosophy is the same thing with fruit. I think for food addiction, it's more important to eat the vegetables and the starch. Leave the fruit towards the end of the day as a sweet treat. Don't start your day with fruit. Don't start your day with oats. You don't want to activate that sweet taste first thing in the morning. Start your day in a savory way. And if you feel fruit's a problem, go without it for a little bit and see if you do better. I'm not telling you not to have fruit, but remember, there's a lot of fruit that isn't sweet. It doesn't always have to be the highest calorie foods like jackfruit and bananas, which are the ones I see people struggle with. I know myself, I can't have ripe bananas in the house. I can have them in the freezer. I can't even buy jackfruit anymore because I'll so overeat on it. And just a couple days ago, I ate an entire watermelon from Costco, the entire thing. Now, it didn't affect my weight, but I didn't like that feeling of being that full, especially because I was up all night peeing. So for me, what I do is I put limits on certain things that they don't either come in my house, or now when I want watermelon, I pay a little more and I buy a reasonable portion, and that's all I'll have in the house. Remember, there are a lot of things are fruit that aren't even sweet. Zucchini, eggplant, tomato, bell pepper, cucumber, okra. These are 67 to 72 calories per pound. They are fruits botanically, but they're not sweet. So you can still get all the wonderful phytochemicals and antioxidants and vitamins and minerals from fruits that aren't sweet. Concentrate on some of the lower glycemic fruits like the green apples or the grapefruit or the berries. So I don't like to, we work with people as individual. It's a one-size-fits-most with food addiction. It's usually sugar, flour, and alcohol, but it's not a one-size-fits-all. There's people that don't do well with grains, so they should avoid them. But pretty much everybody does pretty well with certain starches. Most people, unless they have some kind of GI thing, do really well with the legumes. Most people do great with the sweet potatoes or the winter squashes. So again, this is where if you're not in Ultimate Weight Loss, and I don't think you are because I remember the name, Barbaran, or maybe you don't post, is to work with us so that you can tweak it in a way that works great for you. But I would not tell people never to eat a salad like this. You can find it on page 206 and 221 of The Secrets to Ultimate Weight Loss. It's a very popular salad at the Las Vegas conference, which I hope you'll attend next year. It's Bodacious Beet Salad. It really is bodacious. Thank you, Shada, for the inspiration. And thank you guys for watching another episode of Weight Loss Wednesday. If you have questions or a recipe you'd like to see me demonstrate, please go to my website, eatonprocess.com, and let me know. And while you're there, sign up to be on my mailing list and we'll send you so many free recipes. And consider signing up to subscribe to my YouTube page. I don't know if you can sign up to subscribe, it's one or the other, but thanks so much. I'm Chef AJ, and I truly believe you can have both the health and the body that you so richly deserve.